Joe HippenSteel is a physio kinesiologist at expert level. He's a scholar athlete and an All American track and field athlete from California State University, Fresno. And he trains Navy SEALs, professional athletes, and non athletes to be pain and injury free and achieve ultimate performance in life. Joe spent 20 plus years training for the Olympics, 6 to 10 hours per day in the decathlon, and overcame over 100 injuries without drugs or surgery. Interesting, isn't it? And he now teaches his methods, gives seminars, offers videos at www.ultimatehumanperformance.com. You'll find the link to his website in the show notes and also link to his LinkedIn profile and any other credential, any other coordinates that you would like to share. Everything is available in the show notes or episode description. And not only that, Joe is also Joe is also the author of the bestseller, The Joe Hippensteel Method. And as we prepare to delve into our conversation, an interesting topic at hand, unlocking ultimate performance and Joe Hippensteel's secrets to pain-free living. Here is an exciting twist as always. Let us tickle the guest's brain first. So, Joe, get ready for a rapid fire round of random words. I'll mention a few and I would love to hear the first thing that comes to your mind in response without thinking much. If you're ready, let's get started.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go. Thank you for the
Okay,
introduction.
here comes the first word, curiosity,
Mental power,
invention,
perpetual motion machine,
future,
creating an atmosphere and an environment for people to live and work together.
book,
Book, my book, the Joe Hippensteel Method, and/or a book on how to live and enjoy life.
nice, pain,
Pain. I believe pain is something you have to go through to become successful.
superb, universe,
Universe, the vast expanse of our mind that if we tap into, we have unlimited power.
leadership,
Sorry?
leadership,
Leadership, I think, is being able to follow your dream until you convince other people that it's the right way to go.
health,
Health. We are empowered. If we keep searching, we are empowered to control our own health.
the next one is role model,
Role model. My parents, both my parents, gave me a great life to build a foundation on.
amazing. And here comes the last word, Joe, success.
Success. I believe success is being able to live your dreams and follow through until you achieve them.
Wow. Superb. I loved all your responses and thank you so much for participating in the first rapid fire round so sportively. And we have second rapid fire round towards the end of the episode. So stay tuned. And before I formally welcome you to the show, let me welcome the audience. So folks, you have tuned into TGV. So hearty welcome to the Guiding Voice podcast series where we embark on transformative conversations for a better future. I'm your host Naveen Samala, dedicated to making the world a better place through valuable discussions that add value not only to your life but also to your career and one conversation at a time. Thank you so much for tuning in. And Joe, hearty welcome to TGV. How are you doing today?
Doing absolutely fantastic. I appreciate the opportunity to work with you. Your enthusiasm is contagious.
Thank you. Thank you for the kind words. And let's get the ball rolling, Joe. So please tell us about your journey from a scholar athlete to becoming an expert in physio, kinesiology, and training Navy SEALs. So what sparked your passion for this field, which is not widely chosen?
Wow. Well, when I started as a young athlete, I just was fascinated by the Olympics, and that was my goal. I wanted to get there. I wanted to experience that, and I went to a small college, then transferred to a bigger college, a Division I school in California, Fresno, and I was able to pursue my goals many hours per day. I was always the first one out training and the last one to leave. So a lot of good coaching, a lot of good athletes. I worked with them and just tried to out train them all, and that led me to being able to have more confidence, working towards my dream of maybe one day I can make the Olympic team.
That's great. I think see this is something what many people dream of, right? In terms of, okay, I want to get to Olympics, but maybe they might be focusing on sport or something, but you have chosen some other thing which really is interesting and which you were fascinated, right? And finally you got you have reached your goal. So this is very inspiring. Joe, now let's talk about your success mantra. So please share with us the top three things that have attributed to your success so far.
The three things. Is that okay? Yeah. Sorry. I'd say, it starts with a dream. You have to have that inner, should we say, guiding voice. And if you start pursuing it and you build your confidence, that then leads to, if you persevere, I think is probably one of the biggest. Just persevere. Just keep going, and don't let the world shut you down or stop you. Just within reason, keep pursuing it. And perseverance, I think, is one of my strongest traits.
Got it. So dream big and then pursue it while you persevere. And perseverance is something really, really important, because
Yeah.
without perseverance, I think we can't get there. All right. So
Yeah.
now let's switch to the topic. Today's topic, it's all about how do you manage this pain, and also we would like to dive deep into your method, the Joe HippenSteel method. Of course, we'll talk about it in a while. But my first question around the topic is: you propose that kids are generally pain free,
Mhm.
but why do you think adults experience more pain and injuries as they age?
That's really the core of what we do. Is we're trying to get adults to go back to being able to have the ranges of motion that kids have. When you're young, you don't have inhibitions. Your body's growing. You keep moving. You always have motion. And adults start to develop habits, and they just start to do the same types of activities over and over and over. Whether it's sitting at a computer or whether it's doing one sport, or the more they do it, once you start building up hours and hours and hours of that, your body starts adapting to what you need. If you're not continuing to have that motion like kids, if you go to a playground and see kids running around and jumping around and hanging and going upside down, adults don't do that. And so we have to get our muscles to be active again. We have to be able to have the freedom to move through those ranges of motion that kids have. And we teach how to get back to that. It's a specific protocol with layers. You have to go one step at a time, building the foundation, working your way up to having those ranges of motion again. Quite different than other flexibility routines where they're just kind of random, and they usually only work for the people who have general flexibility or genetic flexibility, which is only 20% of the population. The other 80%, we have to work hard at it. So that's what we teach.
Yeah, got it. And before I go to the next question, what are those medals? Like, I think you have won so many medals. Can you talk briefly about them? What are those?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't say I won that many, but the ones that I did, when I went to Fresno State, I went from being the number 7 decathlete on the team to number 1 within 2.5 years. I out-trained everybody. I was the smallest guy there, but I was the first one on the track every day and the last one to leave, so I put in more hours. And so I was able to win the Pacific Coast Athletic Association or conference championships. And then my senior year, I placed second in that one, but I qualified for the national championships and was able to place in the top 8, which made me All-American. And it's interesting that when I was at my small college, my track and field coach told me he didn't want me to focus on all the events. He wanted me to just focus on a couple events. And I said, I'll see you later. I'm transferring. So I went to California and I did all my events. And at that point, I could have gone back and beaten the small track team by myself.
Oh, wow.
That's how much I improved. So
superb. Congratulations. And that is so inspiring. So, Joe, I've gone through one of your articles where you mentioned about this fountain of youth, right? Being 60 degrees, being 60% freedom of movement, right? So, can you elaborate on what this means and how it impacts overall health and longevity?
yes, for sure. When I say 60%, the fountain of youth is range of motion. What I mean is, if you continue to move and you continue to have freedom of movement, you don't have the stiffness in the joints and you don't start getting all the labels that the doctors put on you. As soon as when you lose those ranges of motion, what happens is your body tightens up and then things start to hurt. And when they start to hurt, you go to the doctor. And the doctor says, you have arthritis, bursitis, tendonitis, migraine headaches, tennis elbow, bulging disc, fibromyalgia. All those labels, all they are is tension. That's the biggest breakthrough that we've been able to teach is it's just tension. And when you do these ranges of motion, you eliminate all those labels that the doctors put on you. That's 60% of being if you wake up in the morning, nothing hurts, you feel like you're still in your youth. Then there's 20%, which is nutrition, the biochemistry of the body to keep you healthy. The other 20% is learning how to control your metabolism through meditation. If you can learn to slow things down instead of being hyper all the time, because there's a lot of hyper people, right? When we slow things down, our immune system works the way it's supposed to. So I say 60% range of motion, 20% biochemistry, 20% metabolism control.
I got it. So you mentioned about this stiffness, right? Stiffness is one thing. Probably as people age, they think maybe their muscles are stiff and their joints are stiff, right? Likewise, are there any other additional misconceptions people have about flexibility and movement as they age?
Yeah, I think that we define that fitness as there's 4 pillars to fitness. There's strength, conditioning, cardio, and flexibility. And there's always a lot of work understanding of resistance training, which is strength, weightlifting, those kind of things, conditioning, training for your activity over and over. Cardio, that's a big cardio revolution decades ago. But no one really understands flexibility till we came and set an exact protocol. Yes, there's yoga. Yes, there's different ways to stretch, but they're not specific, and there's no foundation, and there's no step-by-step progression. So what we teach is exactly that. We start with level 1. We teach a few ranges of motion for the lower body, 4 of them, and 2 for the upper body. When you build that foundation, you can then build everything on top of it. But we do a lot of repetitions, whereas like in a yoga class, they'll only do 1 repetition, then move on to another exercise, then another exercise, then another one. And meanwhile, they're trying to do strength and balance at the same time. So you're never really fully elongating the muscles. We spend 2 minutes long in one position and wait for the muscles to open. Then we rest for 1 minute, which is we're absorbing blood into those muscles that we've stretched. Then we go into the same range of motion again, and it's a little bit easier the second time, then the third time, then the fourth time if we need to. Then from there, we build another range of motion on top of it. So we're kind of building from the inside out, from the core level of foundation and building to more advanced stretches. Kind of how we do it.
Okay. So can you share some routines? Like you said, the repetitions are more and that will help the muscles open up, right? So are there any easy or key exercises that everyone should incorporate into their daily lives to improve their range of motion and reduce the pain?
Yeah, and that's what we talk about, the foundation. We call them the 4 basic building blocks for the lower body and 2 for the upper body. An example would be if you're sitting with your legs crossed in a meditation type position, leaning forward, you should be able to put your head on the ground. Very few people can do that, but every kid can do that. So if you spend 2 minutes and you're starting to lean forward, then you come out of it and you rest. Then you do 2 more minutes, then 2 more minutes, and 2 more minutes. And day after day after day, eventually your head touches the ground. Your low back is completely open. Your hips are completely open. And it's building those building blocks that allow you to elongate and takes pressures off the joint, allows the spine to move. And that's really the core of what we're trying to accomplish, is getting everything to be free.
Yeah. Got it. And my next question is more on the techniques that Navy SEALs use for maintaining peak performance, right? So can you explain them and how these can be adapted for everyday people? Can people like me also use them, or is it specific to them?
No, it's the same foundation, same building blocks for everyone. When we first started working with the Navy SEALs, we identified several problems. I mean, they were all injured. They all had injuries because they trained so hard and so long. One of the things that they do is they're overtraining. So we tell people, if you're, let's say, a businessman and you want to be a marathoner and you go out and run 10 miles after you sit at a desk all day, you got to do a little bit of stretching to keep those muscles open. Otherwise, they get tighter and tighter and tighter through the days, through the weeks. So number 1 is not to overtrain. You got to have some recovery days. Number 2 is flexibility. It has to be part of and a foundation for your fitness program. It's not just a matter of spending 1 minute, you put your foot up on a chair and you lean forward and act like you're stretching your hamstrings and then go run for 10 miles. You have to be able to spend some time allowing the muscles to open back up. We have to train them to open. The third part then is integrating it into your lifestyle. So what that means is if you lift weights, you can't go for a run then. You have to do it in the right order. You have to get your exercise done. Then you lift weights. Then you take the next day off. You have to have recovery time. And I think the integration is really one of the most important things. Recovery time, making sure you're not overtraining, and then integrating it into your lifestyle and using flexibility as a foundation for your activities. And it's growing. It's gonna continue to grow. Flexibility, people are starting to understand a little bit more.
Got it. This is very clear. And Joe, this has been an incredible conversation so far, and it's time for us to add some more spice and some more excitement to the episode. So if you're ready, let's kick off the second rapid fire round.
Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Okay, comes the first bullet. If you could have one gigantic billboard anywhere with anything on it, what would it say?
Mine would say, dream big, then go for it.
Dream big and then go forward. Awesome. And what is the best recovery tip after a tough workout?
The best recovery you could do is stretching to our protocol. It's not ice, it's not rest, it's not pills or whatever. You have to stretch to open the muscles back up. Is that rapid fire enough?
And Joe, can you describe yourself in just one word?
Ooh, dreamer.
Dreamer. And who is the most inspiring person that you have ever met?
I believe it's my parents. My father always encouraged us to go for it and to practice hard and to be the first one to practice every day and work the hardest. So I think that was most inspiring as far as setting me up for my lifestyle.
Yeah, lucky you. And Joe, if you were not a physio or kinesiologist, what would you be?
I would be a professional athlete if I had the choice, but I wasn't built big enough to be able to do the sports that I loved. So studying human performance is how I became a physio-kinesiologist. And that led me to having some success with my athletics.
Got it. And here comes the last bullet. What is one electronic gadget or a fantasy gadget that you like to see or invent yourself?
A perpetual motion machine to create free energy. I actually have 10 patented products in the United States, and I'm working on a prototype for perpetual energy. It may take me a little while to get there, but I'm working on it.
Wow. And I wish you all the best on that. Great rapid fire. And let's flip back to the mainstream, Joe. So what is the first step someone should take if they want to start their journey towards pain-free living and ultimate performance?
You've got to loosen up. You've got to have freedom of movement. Our website teaches the exact protocol and the foundation for flexibility at ultimatehumanperformance.com. We have videos and we have seminars. Our next one, we're actually leaving next week to go to London. We'll be there for 2 weeks. So yeah, they can learn through our protocols.
Oh, wow. Sure. So folks, as I mentioned earlier, you'll find a link to Joe's website in the show notes. So go ahead, and there are so many videos out there for free you can watch, and then you can also participate in seminars and all of the workshops that Joe and his team are going to organize. All right. And Joe, I thoroughly enjoyed our conversation, and I think you're the first kinesiologist whom we have hosted on the show. And this has been very insightful. Thank you so much. And how is your experience being hosted on the Guiding Voice platform?
Fantastic experience. I love your passion is contagious. I love it. And that's really what life's about, is just, you got to go for it. You got to enjoy it. You have to see the benefits of everything around you. And your podcast it's energetic, and that's what people need to be motivated to achieve their goals. So thank you for the opportunity.
Most welcome. And the whole idea is to inspire people around by showcasing people like you, right? And you speakers are the backbone of my podcast, and likewise our community is growing. And thank you once again for being part of our journey, and I really appreciate it, and looking forward to hosting you many more times in future.
My pleasure. Thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, most welcome. And friends, that was our episode with Joe HippenSteel. And before we jump into the fun trivia section, we have a quick request as always. In case if you haven't already subscribed to TGV Podcast, please subscribe from wherever you have tuned in, because subscribing keeps you updated on new episodes. And you cannot afford to miss the kind of topics that we discuss with a diverse range of expert speakers around the globe. And also, if you have enjoyed the conversation and found it useful, please share with at least 3 of your friends or colleagues who would also like TGV, the Guiding Voice. So spread the knowledge and help others grow just like you are growing. And now let's hop into the trivia segment of today's episode. Having had amazing conversation with physio and kinesiologist, I thought I would present you few interesting facts about kinesiology. And first one is about kinesiology can help with emotional balance, which means beyond physical health, kinesiology can be used to identify and address emotional and psychological issues. And by using muscle testing, practitioners can uncover stress and emotional imbalances in the body, helping individuals achieve better mental health and emotional stability. Second is about applied kinesiology is used in holistic medicine. Applied kinesiology combines the principles of traditional Chinese medicine and chiropractic care and nutritional science, and it is often used by holistic health practitioners to diagnose and treat a variety of conditions by addressing the body's structural, chemical, and mental aspects simultaneously. And third fact is kinesiology can improve brain function. Yes, you heard it right. Certain techniques are designed to enhance brain function and cognitive abilities, and exercises that involve crossing the midline of the body, such as crawling or coordinated arm and leg movements, can help improve neural connections and brain hemisphere communication, benefiting learning and memory. So these are the things I wanted to share from kinesiology perspective. Likewise, if you have any other benefits that you have found by practicing this, or by maybe your physio or kinesiologist might have provided some tips, I would love to hear from you. Apart from that, what is one thing that you are do for a pain-free living? Do let me know. If you are watching this episode on YouTube, you can comment there, or if you have found this episode on audio platforms or social media platforms, you can comment on social media, and I would love to review what you are going to say. So, folks, that's it for today. Thank you so much for tuning in and also for being part of our awesome TGV family. Love to hear from you. So, do not hesitate to share your ideas, feedback, topic recommendations, and most importantly, guest speaker suggestions either through our social media, or you can also email us at theguidingvoiceforyou@gmail.com for as in digit 4 and you as in letter U. And let's create content that resonates with you. I'm your host, Naveen Samala, a lifelong learner, and my goal is to have impactful conversations that improve not only your life but also your career. So, folks, until next time, take care, stay inspired, and remember the future holds great things. Goodbye for now. See you all in the next episode with another amazing guest. Take care.